Hi, my name's Scott Shadley. I'm the Director of Leadership Narrative and Evangelist here at Solidigm, and today I'm here with Ali Cabral from Cloudflare.
So I'm Ali Cabral. I ran the product team for Cloudflare's developer platform for 4 years. And now I'm actually back into my round 2 at Cloudflare, focused on the customer experience side of those same products, that same developer platform.
Gotcha.
So really at GTC, my team is here to talk about those customers, be grounded in their needs, make sure that we're feeding all that feedback back to the product teams, feeding that into our product strategy, but also letting them know and become aware of all that Cloudflare can do to help them build products.
What would you say some of the impacts or best market trends you see for Cloudflare's products and your customers?
Well, I think this is the challenge we all have, is there's such a big shift happening underneath us in the market today.
Okay.
And I think we all are trying to kind of keep up with where the market is moving. And I think there are several ways in which we see the market moving today that we have to kind of keep in front of. One of this is an Agentic AI, right? I think everybody has heard the term.
Not everybody understands.
Exactly. Most people, let's say, do not understand yet that term and are looking to build perspective on what that is. But effectively, we've always been talking about business process automation as a big part of what companies are focused on to be more efficient. Agents are about taking that business process automation to the next level, right? That's how we're talking about it today. And it's great if you can have a bunch of automated tasks running in your workflows that like solve a bunch of problems for you repeatedly again and again and again. But also having a bunch of tasks automated creates a lot of problems too. Like, where are those tasks? What are the visibility of those things? How do I know if something's broken, where it got broken? If it's doing a 5-step process and it gets broken in step 3, how do I debug? So we at Cloudflare are focused on kind of the management side of industry shift and how things like our Cloudflare Workflows product can help debug like a multi-step system that's automated end to end. Like, those are the types of things that are really interesting to us, because we see AI and even actually code gen, like, which is another huge industry shift where you have this like complement to a developer by generating code. We see that as like solving part of the problem, which is making it easier to bring applications online. But that's maybe like a third of the battle. Managing those applications, debugging them over time is incredibly complicated and hard. So how do we see through the actual ease of use and like everything getting better end to end on the management and system level side too? And that's really what Cloudflare is focused on.
Okay, so you management system level, storage companies, how do you see the relationship that we have with Solidigm and Cloudflare playing out in this? Because you guys have some very unique solutions that we are participating with you in.
Yeah. I think in general, how Cloudflare likes to view itself as a platform is a connector. Okay. So basically, we are a globally distributed network that has a lot of opinions about how to build applications, because we think by default they should be scalable, by default they should be performant, by default they should be secure. So we have some of those best practices in an opinionated way baked into the platform. But we are not opinionated on every building block being on Cloudflare. That's never been our strategy. And if you look at some other infrastructure providers or even the hyperscalers, they have commercials that try and keep you in ecosystem in the form of an aggressive egress tax. Cloudflare has never had that strategy. So like our products do not punish you from going from a Cloudflare ecosystem into another company to like go fetch data or like go do what you need to do for the best tool for the job. And the way that I see us working together, it's like, you're the best tool for the job, right? In certain classes of applications. And we at Cloudflare want to be the connector of all of the tools that a developer needs to build an application end to end.
Awesome. So when we talk about all this wonderful things going on in the ecosystem, and we have what we know today, you mentioned that we're still not sure exactly where we all fit in this beautiful stack. And we've got Jensen pontificating on where the next is, but we all know that he's already ahead of us. And a lot of the enterprise, if you will, is so much further behind the hyperscalers. How do you see that aspect of this business shaping up?
Yeah, so I think time will tell, right? I think we're so early here. And I think what's really interesting in a moment like this, I think in a market moment where the industry is shifting, is you have some companies that are going to approach it with a humility of like, I'm going to go figure out what I need to change in order to meet the moment. And it's going to be a big change. It's going to be a big pivot to like what was on the 5-year roadmap before this time. Or Or some companies are going to be like, actually, my job is to kind of protect my moat, so to speak. And there's less of a humility in that.
Right.
So often you have, sometimes in moments like this, the curse of success, like these larger companies that don't want to move because they view it as their job to kind of protect the status quo.
Okay.
And then you have these smaller companies coming out from more grassroots, grounded in the customer need, grounded in this moment, that I think are going to have a real opportunity to kind of shake up how we're doing AI infrastructure in general. So I'm looking at a lot of like smaller companies as I think the leaders of where we're going to go.
Is there any cool new like Cloudflare Next that you can share with us that's coming soon, has just been released, things like that as far as the technology goes?
Yeah, so we just released an agents toolkit and an MCP server as well.
Okay.
So very topical right now. Really helping developers build those types of applications directly on Cloudflare's developer platform.
Okay.
So we're really, really excited about that. But that's really just the beginning. We are doubling down in the new applications that are being built with these new AI models, and are trying to help bring even companies that are still forming their own concepts on what this all means. We're trying to bring them along too by creating these like templates or best practices that just like help them get started in this space.
Helping the enterprise and the smaller organizations that really just don't have that next figured out.
Yes.
You're there to help actually be part of that, what's next.
Exactly. And we have a developer week coming up the week of April 7th, where we are doubling down on new launches, new investments, and talking about this next phase forward with AI that we're all obviously eager to see basically where we're all going to land in this shakeup.
How would the folks watching this find out more? Where do they go look?
Yeah, so we have a really, really active and rich Discord community of developers. So that's Cloudflare Developers Discord community. We have a YouTube channel. We have a very active Twitter, Cloudflare Developers on Twitter, and Cloudflare.com.
Very cool.